Welcome everyone. Welcome to Hasib Gan. Today I have picked a question from chemistry. This is a very basic question, but it has implications in other field also, in chemical physics, material science. In general, we have to consider solid state of matter, condensed state, where atoms are constituents of the material. So atoms are arranged periodically if it is crystalline, and aperiodic or random arrangements are there if it is amorphous material. Now this is for solid, and whereas in gas completely different thing happens. There is no such definite interatomic spacing in the gas, and atoms are randomly moving inside a gas container. This is for gas. Let's take hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is 2, that consists of two hydrogen atoms. Now, the hydrogen atom, it is very familiar that there is a nucleus and one electron is orbiting around this nucleus. Now, if you solve the Schrodinger equation for this hydrogen atom with the potential Vr, Coulombic potential, Vr equal to some C upon R. So, you will find the energy levels that are discrete. And the energy formula, that energy of these individual levels, that is minus 13.6 upon n square, where n is the principal quantum number. So different n correspond to different energy levels. N equals to 1, this is the ground state. This is n equal to 2, excited, these are the excited state. Now these hydrogen atoms, when they are infinitely spaced, so there is no interaction between these hydrogen atoms. So these are basically the nucleus, and this is the n equal to 1 orbit. So for hydrogen there is only one electrons. Now as they are spaced apart infinitely, there is no interaction between these atoms, and as they approach each other, they start feeling interaction of the other one. Consider the Coulombic potential of this hydrogen atom. It will be something like this. So this is equal to R equals to 0. So the potential is Vr equals to minus C upon R. So at R tends to 0, this is the large negative value, and there will be some Coulombic potential for this hydrogen atom also, the same thing. Now as these two atoms approach each other, this overall Coulombic potential will be modified. Okay, this will be something like this. And here these hydrogen atoms, so these are placed. So and this is the interatomic spacing. Now with this modified potential, if you solve the energy levels for these two hydrogen atoms, so which are quite close, then you will find the energy levels that differ from the initial energy levels for these individual atoms. So the energy level changes. Now why and how this energy level changes, so you can think in a qualitative manner. So let's take there is a one energy level that is filled by one electron. This is one electron, this is 1s for this hydrogen atom, and there is another label that is 1s for this hydrogen atom, another hydrogen atom. This, suppose this is A hydrogen atom and this is B hydrogen atom. Now, initially, when there is no interaction between these two hydrogen atoms, uh, their space the spacing is large, so they will be at the same energy levels. This on s. Now, when these two hydrogen atoms come close to each other, then what will happen? So, just imagine that it is an honest orbital, and this is honest on orbital for this hydrogen atom B. Now, when they come closer, so what will happen? In a single orbital, you can see there are two electrons. Pauli exclusion principle in a orbital, two electrons will not have the same quantum number. So there will be Pauli repulsion between these two electrons. So what will happen? Eventually, these two labels they will split. So if initially these two labels are there, when they are spaced apart, now these labels will be split into two different labels. So it was 1s, now this is called sigma 1s, and this is sigma star 1s. This 1s, this is for the individual hydrogen atoms, so these are called the atomic orbitals. But sigma 1s is coming due to two orbitals when they are close to each other, so this is called the molecular orbital. So molecule, it basically when two atoms form a bond, then it is called a molecule. So this is according to molecular orbital theory. There will be two orbitals. This is the anti-bonding orbital, and this is the bonding orbital. This is called molecular orbital theory, or MOT, molecular orbital theory. Now what will happen here? So initially there were two electrons. Now these two electrons will come this sigma 1s electron. So sigma 1s electron basically indicates how these two electrons forming a bond. So it basically indicates the strength of a bond. So now two electrons forming a bond, and there is no electron in the antibonding orbital. So basically indicates that there is a bond formed between these two atoms, hydrogen atoms A and B, and it eventually creates a H2 molecule. Now you can also find that for hydrogen there is only one electron in the outer shell for each of the hydrogen atom, and whenever this forms, so basically there is a covalent bond between these two hydrogen atoms, and each atom has only one electron, but they can share between these two atoms. So basically octet rule is satisfied. So this is a stable configuration of H2 molecule. So we can say H2 molecule is a stable molecule. Now instead of H2, if you check H2 plus, what is the stability, how stable this molecule. So what will happen here? So there is a one electron on a electron is there, and so one electron is emit. So one electron is removed from one of the hydrogen atoms. So let's take it is removed from here. There is no electron here, and in this B atom, this is A atom, and this is the 1s orbital. Now when this molecular orbital is are formed, this is the sigma 1s, and similarly this is sigma star 1s. Now there is only one electron here, and there is no electron in this B or B atom. Now this one electron will take place in this bonding orbital. Now how do we calculate the stability? How do we measure that? So for that we need a parameter that is called bond order. bond order, and it is calculated by observing the number of electrons in the bonding and anti-bonding orbital. There is a formula, that is bond order equals to half number of bonding orbital electrons minus number of anti-bonding orbital electrons. So for H2 plus, it will be half into 1. So there is only one electron in the bonding orbital, no electron in the anti-bonding orbital. So this is 0.5. And if you calculate the same thing for hydrogen, this is for H2 plus, and if you calculate the same thing for the hydrogen molecule H2, then it will be half. There is two electrons in the bonding orbital for H2 molecule, so it will be 2 and 0, so it will be 1. Now you can see that for hydrogen molecule H2, that bond order is larger compared to H2 plus. So this bond order actually signifies how straighten the bond. So it basically indicates the uh, bond. So it basically indicates that how strongly the bond is formed. So, and that is the indication of the stability. That's why H2 molecule is more stable than H2 plus, as H2 has a larger bond order than H2 plus. Another thing you can easily visualize that for H2 molecules there is no charge, it is a neutral molecule, but H2 plus there is charge. So whenever there is a charge inside a system, so usually it is not stable as compared to the neutral molecule. Now we want to check for helium molecule. Helium, it has two electron in its 1s orbital. So this is 1s orbital for helium, A atom. There is another atom, B atom, and this is 1s orbital for this B atom. There are two electrons. Now when the molecular orbitals are formed, this is the antibonding and this is the bonding molecular orbital, sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. Now you can put these at electrons like this. Here there will be two electrons in the bonding orbital and the remaining two will be in the anti-bonding orbital. So whatever energy reduction you have got from this bonding orbital, from these two electrons, that is basically cost to in uh, that is basically cost in forming this anti-bonding orbital. So basically there is no net energy gain in forming this AB molecule in case of He2. Helium molecule, this doesn't exist. Before wrapping up this video, I want to tell about something more, that we have only chosen two atoms, so two hydrogen atoms or two helium atoms. So now in a solid there will be large number of atoms, that we have already told that if it is a crystalline solid there will be large number of atoms periodically arranged. For that, what will happen? So let's take, there is on s orbital that is splitted for in two orbitals, antibonding and bonding orbitals. Now there will, in solid there will be 10 to the power 23 number of atoms that are close to each other. So each of the energy levels will split in multiple number of bonding and anti-bonding orbitals. Okay, so basically it will form bands. In molecular orbital picture there will be band. This is, suppose this is called the valence band and this is the conduction band, and there will be an unforbidden energy gap. So from molecular orbital picture you can also get into the band picture. So these are very correlated. So I hope you have understood that this basic mechanism and this example, how the bonding orbital is formed, how the bonding orbital and antibonding orbital energy difference, these indicates that molecular stability. So if you find this video worth, please like this video, share it, and don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you. Take care.